Young 46's calculations was one of them. I've always used them consistently before obviously your chart come along, which I think the yardages are pretty similar anyway, so I'll just stick with that. And then obviously I've got I use a Young 46 direction for the crosswind as well. I'll show you, I'll play a round of what I normally do with my normal ball, and then obviously you can judge what you think then. So let's get to it. This is on the iPad, by the way, John, just so you know. So direction wise, the wind, I wouldn't really, with a wedge, I wouldn't really, maybe one take off for the wind, but it'll probably even up with the 30-40 rough. The elevation's playing about 2, so 9. I always divide by 4 with a wedge for some reason. I've always done it all the time. I know some people do it by 3, but I just feel 4 is more accurate. So just working out the wind. So this is the wind calculation that I do for the crosswind. So it's 100 divided by the yardage, 92, times 25, which is that's a constant. So that equals 27.1. And then it's 12, which is the wind, times the angle, 0.2, divided by 21.1. And then times 4.5, which gives me, just let me do that again there, John. So it was 100 divided by the yardage, 92, times 25, 27.17. 12 times the angle of the wind, 0.2, divided by 21.17 equals that, times 4.5. So it's telling me 0.5 of a box. So it's saying there, sorry right there, John, I've actually done that wrong. It's not 0.2, it's 0.8, so I'll just do that again. So it's 100 divided by 92 equals 1 times 25 is 27.1. It's 12 times 0.8 divided by 21.17 times your 4.5. So it's telling me it breaks two grids. So there's 1, there's 2. Now with a wedge, I'd add about 4 yards on for the rough, so, and then obviously your 2 elevation, and then take 1 off. So it's going to be add 6, take away 1, so it's going to be 97. I'm going to hit it. So 97 will be about, say, there. So it wasn't the worst. I did miss Dinger early, but we've left ourselves with a good show of the putt, which I can show you how I use your calculator now. So to get the green speed, this is 9.5. Distance 8.2. Elevation minus 0.2. And then the dot speed. So I'm just going to count the dot speed now. I use a stopwatch. It's just, I think it's more accurate. I use it on the computer though, so it's not like a real stopwatch. I'm not going to that extreme. So now I'm going to just count the dots. So I know the first one is about 3.1 seconds. That's the fastest. You've got 2, which is about 3.6. And then you've got the back 2, which are about 4.2. So downhill, I normally go with the fastest stop, but because the elevation's not too bad, it's like quite even to the middle, it's only minus 0.2. I tend to go slightly leaning forward to the faster dots. So I'd probably say about, say 3.3. So 3.3 times 2, 6.6 obviously. So if I go 6.6 tells me it breaks 9.7. So I know that's half a grid, and then half of that will be about there, and then half of a cup, half a cup, I'd say is about there. So I know that now the elevation's changed to 0.7 uphill from minus 0.2. So I'd say I'd add another, instead of hitting it 8, the power of 8, I'd hit it 8.2. So if I divide 8.2 by 30, it's 27%. So I'd hit that 27% on a 30 scale, which would be around, say there. So it actually broke a little bit quicker. So maybe the faster dot, the 3.1 was the correct dot. It was just because it was one dot. I just thought I'd go obviously a little bit in between, but I was clearly wrong. So this one, with the elevation and the tail here, I'd probably just hit a 3 wood. I wouldn't probably go in the middle. I'd probably go there. The amount of times I've gone into this little deluge. So that's not a bad shot. So I'm going to go through the Young 46 calculations now. So it's 225 divided by the angle of the wind, 0.85, 264.7, 80 times 11, 880 divided by 264.7, which is 3 yards off. So it's going to be 77. There's no elevation, so it's going to be 77. So 77 for me would be around, say, 96%. I wouldn't even move the crosswind here. I'd just misting it early, just to adjust for the crosswind because it's a wedge. So I'd say 96%, which is, say, there, and then misting early. So we have a heartbeat, and it was right on the button. So we've got an easy birdie now. Easy highway, to be honest, as long as it doesn't stay on the fairway. Now we go to Royal St George's. Really important you stay on the fairway in this, which I don't think I have.
That's a huge drive.
So, I've got a straight tail. It's a big one. So, we are going to get some rollout because of the force of the wind. So, I'm going to say I wouldn't have to do the 225 now because I know it's a straight tail, which equals to 1.0 in the angle of the wind. So, it's just 19, which is the wind, times the yardage, 158, divided by the 225, which leaves 13 off. So it's going to play 13. So it takes it to 145, sorry, and then plus your elevation, 146. So I know if I hit an 8 iron, 146, I'll probably just add, in fact, I'm going to play this full backspin as it is. Just because I know this hole seems to play a little bit shorter than what it is. So like, if I hit at normal distance, it goes long. So I'm going to take a little bit off. I'd normally hit this about 148 with a full backspin 8, but just because of the tailwind's so strong and I know this hole plays a little bit shorter, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm just going to misting it slightly left because the angle of the wind looks a little bit. So we have a heartbeat. Maybe shouldn't have mistinged it as much, but it's still thereabouts within that range of a 2 foot. Now these are the ones that I just power through. I'm going to show you what I normally do for these, John. I know you say you don't like this system, but I feel like the dots aren't moving that fast, as you can see. So what I normally do is, take away the elevation, 4.6, and add 2, 6.6. So I just go to the corner there, and I imagine 6.6 coming down this line here now. So that's perfect. So 6.6 is about there. This should be in the middle of the hole. Yeah. We have an easy birdie. Quite a difficult hole, it's quite long. Right, so again, the young 46s things. So we got 225 tailwind divided by 0.3 is the angle of the wind, 750. 201 times 15 equals 3,000 divided by 750, which leaves 4 yards off. So it's going to be 197 plus 4 for the elevation, which is 201. So we're over with a 4 iron into a tail. I add 10 on, so I'm probably going to come up short here, but because of if I hit it short, it's going to hit this little ridge here, and it's going to call all the way back down. So I need to kill it dead here, hopefully roll over. So I am just going to put a few clicks on. Hopefully I can get it over. So I'm going to go do the crosswind. So it's 100 divided by 201 equals 0.49 times your 25 constant, 12.4. 15 times the angle of the wind, 0.7 divided by 12.4 times 4.5. So it tells me just under 4 grid, so 3.8 it says. So there's 3.5, so I'm going to say about there. And then I'm just going to rip it and see where we go. So we have a heartbeat again, which is pretty good. Got a bit lucky with the bounce, but it is quite a difficult hole, so I'll take that. So now, another example of the putt. So we have 8.5 minus 2.6 for elevation. And then we're going to counter that. Just looking at it, we know the first dot and the last dot are the fastest. Then it's in between, in the middle, they're quite inconsistent. So I know with a downhill putt, I normally go with the fastest dot. So another fastest is 6.3. The second fastest, there's 2 of them there online really. 7.7, so 6.3 to 7.7. So I'll lean slightly towards the fastest, so I'll go 6.6. Yeah, say 6.6. And if you double that, we've got 13.2. So I'm going to say 13.2. So it tells me it breaks 6.4. So I know 6.6 is there. So just a little tad, say there. So elevation's not much difference in it, minus 2.3. I'll maybe add an extra 1, so it's a 6.2 instead of 6.1. So 6.2 divided by 30 is say 20%, just over 20%. So I'm going to maybe hit a, say there. So we've got that one perfect. So we hold that. This is an easy hole. I know it goes uphill the shot, but as long as you get on the fairway, you should be alright. As long as you don't go into the rough. So I'm going to take a little bit off this, just in case it carries into the bunker or the rough. So this is a no-go for a punch, because you know you're going to get a bit of roll because it's uphill that much. So you can do the calculations, which is 180 because it's a headwind, divided by 0.25, 720, 56 times 14 divided by 720, which equals 1 yard. So the wind's playing 1 yard with this club, 57. Then 23 divided by 4 equals 5.75 plus 57. So it's playing 62 to 63 yards. So it's got to be a top spin, full top, lob wedge 60 for me. It normally goes about 62, 63, so that this should be bang on perfect really. I maybe take a little dot two off just because it's uphill. It might get a little bit of roll, although I don't think it will with the power that I'm hitting it. So now the crosswind, 100 divided by 56 equals that times 25, 44.6 divided by 44.6, so times 4.5. So it tells me it breaks a grid, just one grid. So see there, I'm just going to hit that as it is. Should we have a heartbeat? And it's good enough. 1 yard off, you can't complain. This one, I wouldn't even look, I'd just misting this to the right. Come accustomed to them little ones, but really misting. So this one, right, I'm going to show. This is what I do in this. Instead of risking hitting a full shot and maybe aiming over the, I know perfectly well that if I hit a punch with a driver, full backspin, and I hit it 97%, say there, it's just going to land just in front of the water, the cliff. I do this numerous times. So although it leaves a little bit long, I don't mind because I know there's no risk of going over into the cliff, which I have done when I've hit a full drive sometimes. So on this, it's a headwind, so it's 180 divided by 0.3, 600, 186 times 15 divided by 600 equals 5 yards on. So it's 191, take away 4, 187. So it would be a 5 iron. With a headwind, I had 10 on, so 187. So now I know I haven't got enough club there. So I'm going to go to a 4 iron. So 187. I had 10 on for a 4 iron. So it's going to be 197 with a 4 iron. Which is, on my chart that I've got mapped out, 197 is 96% with a 4 iron. And then the crosswind. So we have 100 divided by 186 times 25, so 13.4. So the crosswind's playing 3.5 grids. 1, 2, 3, 3.5. 96% with the 4 iron. Should get me pretty close. I know this hole does play a little bit longer than what it says. Like I normally land short on this. So 96%, I'd say, is there. Try and hit the ding or miss late. So we missed a little bit late. But the distance is pretty good. And that missed ding late actually cost me from being right at the pin. So, like I'm going to use the putter now. So it's 10.5 minus 2.3. Now the dots. So having a quick look, they all look pretty consistent there. Faster at the beginning. So I'd definitely go with the fastest dot here. And I mean like bang on the fastest dot. That's just the way I've been doing it. So go to the stopwatch. Because the first three are quite similar, but so there. That's just the dog that, John. So 3.47 times 2, 6.94. So it's going to be 6.94. So it tells me it breaks 14. So I know that's 12. Right in the middle. 14 is like, say, I'd say that's 15, and then the cup off that, say, is about there. So now the elevation's changed to -1.5, so it's obviously going uphill slightly, so I'm going to add another 2 onto that. So instead of hitting at 8.1, I'll hit at 8.3. So that's 20, just under 28% on a 30 scale. So 28% right there. Just made a little mistake there. I won't hit that. So I'm going to say 28%, just under 28, sorry. It's 25, 26, 27. So I'm going to say about there. So he's pretty close. Maybe the fastest dot again, but this is the inconsistency that I found. Like, before I went in between the fastest dot and the second dot, and it wasn't enough. And then when I go with the fastest dot, that was too much. So maybe it was the power that I hit it, the extra power. I don't know. But the putts that I miss, it's because they're like that, and I don't know what it is. I've got St Andrews here. It's normally
Good ball.
Wedge in. Wind's playing pretty strong, but still should get it pretty close. So we've got 180 divided by, say, 0.35, 514.2 divided by 514.2. So it's playing 3 to win, so it's 88. I'd add 1 on for the elevation, so it's playing 89. So I know 89. Just get the crosswind right. I haven't got enough club with the 80 wedge, so it will be a sand wedge 100. So I'm just going to work out the crosswind. 100 divided by 85 equals 11 times 25, 29.4. Angle of the wind divided by 29.4 times 4.5. So it's playing 2 grids. And then I'm going to hit it about, say, 89, 90, which is about there. Missing this slightly, that could affect it. Distance was perfect, in fact. Distance was good, and so was the crosswind. So this is a ram putt again. So 4.9, 6.9. So just aim there. Imagine 6.9. Maybe a bit too much there, so say there. 6.9 stays about there.
Solid putt.
Perfect there. So not a bad round really. A few slight miss putts. For this one I can go for this. Just get it over that bunker. Should be able to clear it. Crosswind should bring it in. So now we have tailwind 225 divided by 0.5, 450, 128 times 10, 1280 divided by 450, which leaves 3 yards off. So 125 plus your elevation, 127. So it's playing 127, so it's going to be a 9 iron. 9 iron. Probably add a click or 2, say there. Crosswind. 100 divided by 128 times 4.5. Sorry, 100 divided by 128 times 25, 19.5 divided by 19.5 times 4.5. So it's playing 1.1 grid. So it's just playing 1.1. I'm going to play a little bit more. I'm probably going to misting this late. I mean, misting it early because I don't want to go down right on that little hill, just to make sure. So we're looking for an early misting, which I've actually done late, which means I will go down that hill. Just held on. Now this putt is pretty straight. I won't use the putting, I'll just use the speed for this. So 11.4 minus 1.2. So I know to hit it 9.9. Now I'll just go into this view. I'll just imagine the dot. So I know it's not going to break much at the beginning. maybe a touch. So if I imagine 9.9 there. So what I say about there, so 9.9. Yeah, so we hold that one. So now this is actually definitely eagle chance, as long as you don't catch this and roll up. Like a lot of people say play to this side, I disagree. I actually think over here and just make sure of a puck, because you've got a little ridge here, and if you can land it close to here, it comes back down towards it. No point in risking that, because you catch this, you're going to pick up speed and you're going to land up here, and it's a horrible putt. So we've got 281, so let's see if we can reach. So we go 225 divided by 0.3, 750. 281 times 17 divided by 750. So it's saying 6 yards off, so it's going to be 275 plus your elevation, say 15, so 285. So it's going to be about, it's playing about 290. So 290. So we'll go to what my clubs play on a normal off the tee. So a no, I don't want no roll really. Yeah. I want it to be full back. So 290. It's probably going to be about 96%, say, with the driver. Now I just need to get the crosswind. So 100 divided by 281 times 25 is 8.9, sorry. 8.9 divided by 8.9 equals that times 4.5. So saying 6 grids. I know perfectly well it's not going to play 6 grids because the elevation's up that much. So I'm going to give it 4.5. I'm going to give it 4.5. Not even that. I'm going to give it about 4. So they there. Now we said 90. Did we say 95%? Just over. So just over 95%. So I'm going to say there. Try and hit the ding. So we've hit the ding. No heartbeat, which is a bit worrying. And we've done what I said. We've come up the hill, which is going to be an absolute nightmare now. Right, so what I'm going to do here, John, I'm not even going to attempt to put this is what I do on this. I know it's pretty, coming down pretty, it's sloping here a bit, but not as much as if it come down here. So, really, I want to land it about, say there. So, I'm going to hit it about 65, 75, 21. So I'm going to hit it about 91. Wind should bring it in a touch. And that'll do. It just takes the element of the risk away and just lands it nicely. So we'll settle for birdie, and we've got under 7. And there's my first round for you to have a little look at, John, and tell me what you think. 29's not bad.